Borowski. I am the manager of respiratory care here at Rush Copley. Over the past year, we have been working on our project called Creating a Psychological Safety Net. It focuses on building a foundation to help strengthen the relationships between ICU and respiratory staff. It helps to improve the communication and trust and overall a psychological safety net. In a high acuity environment like critical care, we recognize that strong collaboration between both teams is essential. So while both ICU staff and respiratory staff are highly skilled, we identified an opportunity to intentionally build those stronger relationships to help support more open communication and a greater sense of shared trust, I would say. Um, to better understand our starting point, we conducted a baseline survey to assess the team's perception related to how the communication was and how the collaboration was. Although there were many strengths, we did identify some opportunities to improve how our teams connect and work together. And through this project, with the support of the awarded funding, we were able to implement some activities to help bring our teams together in a more meaningful way. We organized some team building experiences that were outside of the clinical environment, including Pino's Palette, where the ICU and respiratory staff had the opportunity to connect in a more relaxed and creative setting. This allowed some team members to build some personal relationships and personal connections, and that could be carried back with them to the workplace. We also had collaborated as a team to design a critical care t-shirt. I think creating a shared identity and sense of pride across both ICU and respiratory. It was simple but impactful way to reinforce unity and teamwork. We are currently creating some in-house crafts and engagement activities to be held during Critical Care Week. I think these moments will give the staff opportunity to interact and support one another and celebrate their roles together, further strengthening the relationships across both disciplines. Alongside these activities, we do continue to focus on improving collaboration in the workplace, encouraging shared presence at the bedside, open communication during patient care and during rounds, and more so a mutual respect for each team's expertise. By intentionally investing in relationships, we saw a natural shift in the psychological safety net. And I think that the team members became more comfortable with speaking up and asking questions and engaging in collaborative decision making. I think, especially in high pressure situations, this is essential and important. And we're now completing a follow-up survey that we want to evaluate the impact of this work and measure the improvements in communication and trust and team dynamics. And while this is ongoing, I believe it will continue to always be ongoing, we've already seen some meaningful progress and improved communication, and there is a stronger collaboration between ICU and respiratory and a deeper sense of trust that supports a safer and high quality patient care. So at its core, creating a psychological safety net showed us that building this psychological safety net starts with building relationships. And when we invest in our teams, then we strengthen everything else. So I would like to point out that I had a lot of support and leadership and guidance from Barb Douglas and Don McQuality. Um, I thank them so much for their support throughout this project. And I also want to recognize the respiratory leadership team for their partnership and the role that they played in supporting the safe and collaborative environment. Then today and tomorrow for every day. Um, a very, very special thank you to our donors, Jenny and Peter Foreman, for their generosity, and their support helps make it possible for us to invest in these meaningful team building activities and bring this project to light. So at the end of the day, when we strengthen relationships and we strengthen trust, communication, and safety, and that directly improves the care that we provide for our patients. So thank you for this opportunity. We had a lot of fun.